So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pope still down at second. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Pope still down at second. Bentley Price at the plate, playing second base. And this one's in the dirt and is going to get by the catcher. Pope will trot down to third base on the wild pitch. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now a hit definitely scores a run, even a pop fly. And a drop third strike. So Pope tried to advance. They threw back to home and got the out at home. So the Bears squander another opportunity to score. So the drop third strike doesn't get the out. But Pope, trying to advance, is out. She stays at third base there. The Bears get the run, but she doesn't. And the Bears waste another opportunity. And Brooklyn Crockett playing third base in today's game. At the plate, and she hits a fair ball down the third base line, and it's going to be a double. And Price is going to try to score, and she will. Price scores all the way from third on the double by Pope. That was just a little slow line drive down the right field line. Pope came all the way around to score. Not Pope, Price came all the way around to score. And now Crockett is at second base. And DeClark, the speedy freshman, is the batter. She's playing right field. Peck is the pitcher. That pitch was a ball. And DeClark lays down the bunt. She's to first easy. So bunts her way onto base. And Crockett moves into scoring position. Well, further into scoring position.
She's on third.
She's on third base now. And I believe that's Beard at the plate. Yep, Beard is the batter, playing first base today, just a sophomore. And she fouls the first one back for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runners at first and third. Let's see if DeClark is going on this one. She's got a lot of speed. Like to get her in a scoring position right here. And she is stealing, and it's a fly ball. She's going to have to go back, or they're going to double her off of first. And they go to third base instead. Bears are lucky. And now DeClark will steal. So she went back to first, tagged up. They didn't pay attention to her.
And she said, I'm going.
And she's got enough speed that she got to second base anyway. So give her a steal on that one, because she definitely, the ball was in the infield. And Morgan Armstrong lifts one into deep left field. It's to the fence. It's going to score 2 runs. And she stops at second.
Great double.
1 hops to the fence. So first pitch swinging, she line drives it to the fence for a double, and 2 runs score. And Armstrong's at second, still just 1 out with Romrell at the plate. Romrell led off. Her first at bat was a double. This one is just a high fly ball. And it's caught. Little pop fly is caught for out number 3. Nice play by the second baseman to get underneath it. It was not an easy play for her, but the Bears score 3 and go up by a score of 3-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the second right after this.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
First batter of the second inning grounds out to second base. And then the first pitch to the next batter, which is Peck, is a called strike. So Armstrong working quick, gets a quick out with batter number 1. And fly ball into center field, brought in by Pope. Just like that, already 2 outs. And Pope makes a good play. Catches the line out in shallow center field. And very quickly, 2 down, nobody on. And Lurcher, she takes ball 1. A little bit outside on the off-speed pitch. Here's the pitch from Armstrong. Foul ball, back out of play. For strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 out already. After Price on the very first pitch of the inning scooped up the ground ball over to Beard at first base for the out. And then Pope made a great play to catch the line out. And there's a little foul ball, kind of spun off the end of the bat towards the coach down there at first base. For strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, and nobody on. Bears lead it 3-0 after the 2-run double by Armstrong, and she followed up Crockett, who drove in a run on her double. So 2 doubles score the runs, and that pitch is a ball. It's a ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases empty here in the bottom of the second inning. Bears lead it 3-0 over the Marsh Valley Eagles. Armstrong comes to the plate. Strike 3, struck her out. That'll end the side. That'll end the inning. That was a quick one for the Bears. 1, 2, 3 go the Eagles. We'll take a break and be right back with the third inning after this.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit U-Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with U-Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
The first batter of the inning. Nice hard line drive down to third base, and it's not going to be in time. We'll call that an error on the third baseman as the hard ground ball. And Crockett is now 2 for 2. She had a double in the first inning, and she reaches on an error to start the second inning. And that brings Humphreys to the plate. Humphreys popped out at her first at bat. That one's high for ball one. Crockett not going anywhere on that first pitch. See if she's moving on this one. Humphreys, the cleanup batter at the plate. And Humphreys is going to pop it to second base for out number one. Kind of tied her up a little bit. Couldn't get a hold of it. She pops out to second. Crockett smartly back to first. So now one down. And Pope coming to the plate. She had that great play out there in center field last inning. And she takes ball one a little bit high. Pope's first at bat, she got a base hit to right field. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Ball two. Nice stop by the catcher back there to keep the runner at first. Crockett not taking a real big lead anyway. Oh, she's got to tie her shoes. So we're taking time out so Crockett can tie her shoe. That's why she's taking a small lead. Kind of a nice day, not nearly as warm as it was up in Snake River. There's a slight breeze today, but could be much worse. Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the hole, and it's going to advance the runner. Crockett's going to round and go to third on the single, and then she'll advance to second on the throw. She's out at second. Now Crockett's caught in a rundown between second and third, and another running error ends the inning. Bears had a chance to score two. They would have had runners at second and third with nobody out. Instead, the double play, trying to be greedy on the base pass. We'll be back with the bottom of the third right after this.
I'm Ben Olson. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and just joined Bear Lake Memorial. I'm originally from here in Bear Lake, graduated in 1997. Went to undergrad in Pocatello at Idaho State. Went to med school in Missouri, residency in Ohio, practiced in Northeastern Oregon for the last 11 years. I'm excited to come back home. You kind of grow up doing a lot of outdoor stuff like hiking and hunting and fishing, and that's kind of what we would do as a family. Now, as your kids get older, your life is focused around them, so then you chase them around with all their sporting activities, and that's been a lot of fun. Probably the thing I love the most is taking somebody that can't find relief and offering them a searchable alternative and seeing the change that can happen. My goal for my patients is to earn your trust and take you through that journey and offer them some relief from what they're suffering from.
Lead the Marsh Valley Eagles 3-0, but the Bears have left a ton of runs on the board in this one. lots of opportunities have gone for naught. On that case, in that one particularly, they could have had runners at first and third with one out, and instead the inning was ended on a double play. Pope got caught trying to advance to second, and then that got a Crockett was hung up between third and home and got tagged out. So both players would have been safe first and third with only one out, and the inning ended on the double play. So smart heads-up defense by the Eagles. Call the batter, and she takes ball one from Armstrong. Armstrong's gone the whole way. He's only allowed one hit through 2 innings so far, and that one was erased quickly. Here's a pop fly to left field. Crockett's underneath that for the easy out. So the lazy pop fly to left field retires the batter. And after the leadoff hit, that is 7 batters in a row that have been retired by Armstrong. Guthrie will be batter number 9 in the order. Before we return to the top of the lineup, here's the pitch. Pop fly. And Bentley Price underneath it over at second base.
Great job in communicating there.
Yeah, Beard was coming over to catch it. Price like, nope, I got it. We're good. And that's out number 2. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Anderson, who led it off with a single. She was the last Marsh Valley Eagle to reach base, and she was negated. Well, she didn't score. She was left on base. She takes ball 1, so 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Ground ball
to
the
hit.
shortstop, Romrell, over to first in time.
Great job.
Oh, no, they say
said
she
was
pulled
in
her
the air.
foot. The throw was just a little high.
That was a great hit and a great stop by the shortstop over there.
And she's just quick. I'm going to give her a single on that one because it would have been bang-bang even if the throw would have been down low where Beard wouldn't have had to jump to get it. And it was close even at that, so we'll give her an infield single. She's the only Marsh Valley Eagle to reach base. She's done it twice. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. And Anderson doesn't steal this time. She stole the last time she was up there. And the batter, Howell, struck out in the first inning. That one's a little bit high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson still down at first. 2 out. And Humphreys came up quickly with that. They know that Howell's got some speed. They're keeping her, not Howell. Peck has some speed over there, so Anderson, I'll get it right. Anderson, so they're keeping her close. Here's the ground ball. And that eats Romrell up. She comes up with it, but she's going to have to just eat it. No play. The hard ground ball. And Romrell keeps it in front of her, but is unable to get the out as it bounced off her chest and hits the ground. And she didn't have a throw by the time she came up with it, but the runner in Anderson stays at second. So now runners at first and second. And Foster, the batter.
Great job by Romrell keeping that in front of her, though, not letting that ball advance any further.
And Foster takes ball 1, and it gets to the backstop. And the runners advance to second and third. She grounded out to Crockett in her first plate appearance. So now, runners at second and third. So now base hit could really change this game. Sorry, I was looking at my iPad. What was that pitch, Lise?
It was a strike.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, 2 on. Ground ball to third, and it's going to score a run as Crockett's able to stop it, but did not have a throw. And that scores a run. So runners at first and third, 3-1 in what could have been another 3 up, 3 down inning. Couple of errors have got a run on the board for the Eagles, and they have a chance to score more here. Campbell, the batter. She squares to bunt. Doesn't hit it. It's called a strike. She hit a line drive right back to Romrell to end the first inning in her first at-bat. So no balls, one strike. Squares to bunt again. Takes a strike again. And this time, Foster does steal second. So runners at second, third, but 2 strike count and 2 outs. Armstrong would like to end the inning right here. And it's going to be a hard ground ball for a base hit. It'll score 1. And the hard ground ball scores a run. Great play there by Crockett to hold it to just 1 run as she came up with it quickly. Runners at first and third. Still 2 out. 3-2 ball game. Here in the bottom of the third inning. None of these have been hard hits. They've just found holes and or errors by the Bear Lake Bears. Called strike. And the stolen base by Campbell. And that's one that you do almost automatic. Is you take that strike and get the stolen base with a runner at third. Very few catchers are going to throw down there. It's a free base. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back to Armstrong, over to first in time. That'll end the inning. But not before they get 2. And the score 3-2 after 3. We'll be back with inning number 4 right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Takes ball 1. She struck out, but she reached first base on the drop third strike in that first inning. In her first at-bat, I should say. It was in the second inning. She's now ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out, nobody on here. Top of the 4th. Bears lead it by 1, but this is a game that could be very lopsided right now. Bears have left some runners on the bases, have given up some outs on plays where they should have scored, and then gave up 2 unearned runs as every one of those runs that scored that last inning reached base on an error. So could be maybe a 6 or 7-0 game right now. Instead it's 3-2. Price walks on 4 pitches. And that will bring Brooklyn Crockett to the plate. She had a RBI double and then came around to score in the second inning when the Bears got their 3 runs. So she's 1 for 1 today. Price got quite a bit of speed over there at first. She scored all the way from first on that double that Crockett hit earlier in the game. The pitcher, Peck, gets the signal from her coach, gets set. And Crockett's going to ground that one down the first baseline. It will just roll foul. It would have put Price at least at second. Crockett would have been out. That's one if you are the Bears. if she gets a hit, you're going to like the fact that that was foul. If she ends up not advancing the runner, you're going to kind of wish they would have called it fair. First baseman let it roll, let it roll, let it roll, picked it up at the last second, and they did rule it a foul ball. Here's the pitch, and she's going to pop that one back, and just off the backstop for a foul ball. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, nobody out. Top of the 4th inning here in Marsh Valley. Crockett has a double on the day, looking to move the runner. The changeup is high for ball 1. That one's hard to lay off those. That changeup coming in there that slow, good. That was a good choice because it was high enough she would have had a hard time doing anything with it, even if she could have timed it up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing, foul ball. Just barely underneath it for Crockett. She had it timed up. She was right underneath it, went straight back. That would have been a hard line drive somewhere had she got a hold of that one. But as it is, we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. For Crockett, Peck gets set to come to the plate. And she fooled her, struck her out. She swung late. She thought it was going to be a ball, and then she decided late it was going to be a strike. She took a swing at it, but was behind it. So that brings DeClark to the plate. And DeClark bunted down the third baseline for a single. She's got a lot of speed. If she bunts, it's not necessarily a sacrifice in her case because she can fly down the baseline. Let's see if she's bunting here. Swinging away, and she swings at one that's a little bit low. It was a changeup.
She was way out in front of that ball.
It looked good, but then because it was a changeup, it just dropped into the dirt, and she swung away at it. So strike 1. Price down at first after the leadoff walk. And she squares to bunt, but takes ball high. So 1 ball, 1 strike. In the case of Taylin, her speed is her biggest asset here because the girl can fly down those baselines, similar to Anderson for the Eagles. And she takes a called strike, so she's now behind in the count, probably not bunting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With 1 out after the strikeout. So the Bears get a leadoff walk and are looking to try to take advantage of that. Peck trying to work herself out of that jam after giving up the leadoff walk. And she's got Clark in the hole. 2 balls now and 2 strikes. Good eye there from DeClark. Not to offer that one, just a little bit high and away. The Bears have stolen enough and run enough that it's keeping the Eagles honest, and the catcher's working hard to keep her close. If she tries to frame that one, she might get a strike call, but she had to stand up and make sure Price wasn't going to run. Here's the pitch.
Yeah.
Fooled her. It was another changeup, and this time it stayed high enough to be a strike. Strike 2. So after the leadoff walk, 2 straight strikeouts, and that will bring Beard to the plate. She flew out in her only at bat, a fly out to left field. She's had a good day defensively over at first base, and now she'll try to move the runner. And she's going to foul that one off over our direction, way short of us, but foul ball. Strike 1. So Beard trying to keep the inning alive. Price down there at first base. Bears lead on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard by a score of 3-2. And that one's in the dirt. It's going to go to the backstop, and Price easily down to second base. So good eye there from Beard. Price advances on the wild pitch. And now a runner in scoring position. So if Beard can find some grass somewhere, it could score a run here. Here's the pitch. And that one's going to roll to the backstop, and now Price is at third. 2 changeup in a row, and that changeup got a couple strikeouts for her, but that time, these last 2 pitches have gone to the backstop and have advanced the runner all the way to third base. So now with the 2-ball, 1-strike count to Beard, Now a base hit does score a run because she doesn't have to tag up. And that's going to be ball 3. So Beard working the count here. And if you're Marsh Valley, you really want to get out of this inning because Beard is the number 9 batter, and Morgan Armstrong, who drove one to the fence at her last at-bat, is on deck. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. So after looking like she was going to get her way out of the inning, a couple wild pitches, advance the runner to third. Beard draws the walk, and now the 2 girls that have walked in this inning on first and third with Morgan Armstrong standing in the box. Look for Bears maybe to steal on this first pitch to get the runner to second base. Beard could move down there at first. And instead, it's going to just be a ball that hits Armstrong. So bases are full of Bears. And Romrell, who's already got a double in this game, coming to the plate. She's got a double. She's got a pop fly out. If she can find some grass, it scores probably 2 because nobody's tagging, so they both should score on even maybe a single. Here's the pitch. Romrell is going to foul it off. Fouls off her own foot for strike 1. That was a good pitch to do something with, and she just fouled it off. She'll have another chance. This is a chance for the Bears to rebuild that lead after getting the bases full of Bears on 2 walks and a hit by a pitch. Romrell swings and misses. That's that changeup again. When her changeup is close, it's hard to hit. The only problem so far in the game for Marsh Valley when she throws that changeup is a couple of them have been in the dirt. And one in the dirt here could possibly score a run. But 1 ball, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded. That one's just high. Good eye.
Ooh, that one made me nervous. I'm not going to lie. I just swung.
It was at the top of the zone, and she didn't offer at it. And it goes for a ball. The pitcher, Peck, I'm sure was hoping the same thing you were. Got to offer at that. You don't want to.
Yeah, that was close.
Here we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded. And Romrell, who's got a hot bat at the plate. And she fouls it back out of play. She wanted that one.
Yeah.
If she's like an inch higher on that ball, she might have scored 3 or even 4 runs because she had a good cut at it. Just a little underneath it and fouled it off and out of play. Romrell will look down, get the call from her coach. Peck will look over, get the call from her coach. Peck steps in the circle, toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. Fouls it back. Romrell fought off that changeup. That was the changeup again, and she got just enough of it to foul it out of play and stay alive. Peck's changeup has been very effective when she can get the ball over the plate. She's got both strikeouts in this inning on that changeup, and she's forced a couple other lazy pop flies using that changeup. And there's a high ball, ball 2. That one wasn't close enough to offer at.
No.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Peck still got a pitch to work with, but no place to put her as the bases are full of Bears. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball.
Staying alive.
And that one's over almost to the parking lot. This is a great battle between these two. Peck throwing everything she's got up there to her. And Romrell's fouling them off or taking them in for balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases loaded, 3-2 game. Bears would love to get a run or 2 right here. Here's the pitch.
There's a hit.
And that's going to score a couple. It's going to bounce and hit the fence. It'll score 3. And Romrell is into second easy on the base clearing double.
Beautiful hit.
1 bounce to the fence right in front of us in right field. Everybody's safe. Lots of speed on those base paths and not having to tag up at all because of 2 outs. That cleared the bases, scores 3 runs. Bears back in front 6-2 with a runner in scoring position for Crockett. And she fouls it back out of play. First pitch swinging. Crockett in this game has grounded out to third base, and she had the line drive double in her first at bat. So she's 1 for 2. Most of the Bear Lake Bears have been on base in this game. Now Peck taking her time, so Crockett steps back out. No balls, 1 strike. Runner at second, 3 runs in, 2 out. And Peck gets another call. And so she'll step back in, tell the rubber, here we go, here's the pitch. And that changeup.
That is a nasty changeup.
It looks good. It looks like, oh, this is a meatball right down the middle, and they offer at it, and they're
just
out in front.
slows down and bleh. Yeah, oof.
The only disadvantage is twice it hit the backstop earlier in the inning and allowed the runner to advance. That one's a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at 2. 3 runs have scored in the inning, and the Bear Lake Bears lead it 6-2 here in the top of the 4th. Coach Pope would like nothing more than for Crockett to line drive one here, and she swings and misses. That'll end the inning.
Dang.
She pretends to break the bat over her knee, which you don't want to do when it's a composite bat. That was that changeup again. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward. Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Ready to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Morgan Armstrong still in the circle. She has pitched well. The only 2 runs that she gave up are unearned because every runner that reached base in that inning reached on an error until the hit that drove in the 2 runs. Meanwhile, the Bears have scored 6. Could have been like 12 by now. Some unfortunate base running for Bear Lake has left some runs out there for sure. Peck will be the batter to start this inning off. In her lone at bat, she had a line drive right back up the middle to the center fielder, Brooklyn Pope, who caught it. That was in the 1-2-3 second inning, where Armstrong only threw like 5 or 6 pitches the whole inning and retired the side. So Peck up there to start the bottom of the 4th. And she takes a called strike. Nice pitch. That was a rise ball. And those are hard to hit if you do swing at them. Here we go, Armstrong, second pitch. Swing and a ground ball into left field for a single. Crockett quickly up with it to hold her to a single. So the leadoff runner is on board for the Eagles. Lurcher, the batter, and she struck out in her lone plate appearance. She squares to bunt. She lays it down. Foul ball. It was a decent bunt down the third baseline, but it did roll foul. See if they do it again. Peck moving quickly down the line from first base. Would have advanced easily to second, and it would have been a tough play to get the out at first. She's going to square to bunt again this time.
It hit off of her foot.
It's a foul ball. So no balls, 2 strikes. Now, if she bunts and it goes foul, she's out. So probably not bunting. And the Bears were more in position for that one. It was fouled off, and it either hit her foot or the bat or something right there in the batter's box.
It hit her foot as she stepped out of the batter's box.
Here's the pitch. And that's a little pop fly. It's going to be fair into right field. DeClark comes up with it quickly and holds her to a single and keeps the runner at second, which is big. Call coming to the plate. She had a fly out to left field, her only at bat in the game. She squares to bunt. She lays it down. This one's going to stay fair. Armstrong to first, and not in time.
Bases loaded.
And so a sacrifice bunt. And she's safe at first. So bases are loaded with nobody out. Guthrie coming to the plate. Her only at bat was a pop fly to the second baseman, Price. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It was a big pitch right there from Armstrong. Got her swinging on that rise ball, and she couldn't catch up to it. Armstrong to the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Throw down to third, not in time. So no balls, 2 strikes. Bases full for the Eagles with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Bears lead it 6-2. Eagles trying to fight themselves back into this one. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just missed.
Ooh, that must have been outside because that looked pretty.
Humphreys did her best to frame it down there.
It's hard to tell from up here, too. But
yeah, we don't have a great angle because of where we're at.
Ooh.
That was a good one. That was even from here, we could see that one was a strike call. The strike 3. So after a couple of base hits and a bunt base hit to load the bases, a strikeout to get the first out of the inning. Anderson, who is done well in this game, at the plate. She doubled to lead off. She had a hit to lead off the game. She fouls it back for strike 1. She's had 2 infield hits. Both of her hits have been fielded in the infield, one by the shortstop, one by the third baseman, but she's run them both out as she's got a lot of speed. An infield hit right here. Let's see if the Bears, she got her, fooled her on that one for strike 2. That was outside and away, outside and low, and she offered at it. And now all of a sudden, 0-2 count. Armstrong has got a couple pitches to work with here. Ooh, just missed high. Anderson thought about it, but held back on that rise ball. Armstrong comes to the plate. Struck her out. Struck her out swinging. Swing and a miss, or 2 outs now in the inning after the bases were loaded up with a couple of bloop singles and a bunt single. Armstrong has struck out 2 in a row. Brings up Lydia Howell to the plate. She grounded out and struck out in her 2 plate appearances. Armstrong comes to the plate. And it's going to be a line drive, and that's going to get to the fence. That's going to score 1, 2, 3, and going for third. And she's going to be safe as the ball gets past Crockett. So the triple gets to the fence, scores 3, and all of a sudden we got a whole new ball game, 6-5.
It was a great hit to the fence there. Line drives. Those are hard to field.
Yep, there was no
100 miles an hour.
No way either one of those outfielders was going to get to it. And a lot of speed on the base pass, especially running on the crack of the bat as ball 1 to Foster. Foster grounded out to third and reached on an error, so she's had 2 ground balls. She's going to fly this one to center field. Pope's underneath that one. That'll end the inning. But not before they score 3 and are right back in the game after a base-clearing triple, and it's 6-5. We'll be back with the top of the 5th right after this.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine.
Top of the 5th inning. Bear Lake Bears lead by just a run, and this is the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. If the Bears end up losing, they're going to wonder what could have been. And the slow ground ball to the pitcher, she's up with it, and the out at first base. Humphreys grounds out on the first pitch, swinging to start the top of the 5th for the Bear Lake Bears. And that's going to bring Pope to the plate. Pope has had a decent game. She's had 2 hits, both of them to this right side over in front of us in right field. Here's the pitch. Called strike. A little bit, I guess you would have figured that was outside. I don't know. From here it looked pretty good.
Looked right down the middle to me.
Peck versus Armstrong, the pitching battle. And that one, that's the changeup, and it stayed high for ball 1. Armstrong's really only given up the one really hard hit, but it was a base-clearing triple after a couple little bloop hits to start the inning. And then Pope pops this one straight in the air. The second baseman's underneath it. Wind played some tricks on her, but she was able to bring it in for out number 2. So even though she danced around a little bit because the wind made it move, she's able to record the out. And Bentley Price, who's been on twice, she walked and then reached after a drop third strike for a strikeout, but she got on base. First pitch is a ball. She came around to score on that 3-run double by Armstrong in the last inning that extended the Bear Lake lead. After reaching on that walk, she was walked on 4 straight pitches last time. She's now seen 6 balls in a row, and 2 balls, no strikes to her here. So something about Bentley Price. Peck is struggling to pitch to her today. She's thrown 6 straight balls to her. And then Price fouls that one back. That might have been number 7. It was at the top of the zone. But Price offered at it, fouled it back to the screen, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. If Peck can get Price out right here, this will be the first 1-2-3 inning for the Bears in the game. They've had at least 1 base runner every single inning before now. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. That one's way high.
Way high. No question there.
3 balls, 1 strike. Price has already reached on a walk in the game. And would bring up Brooklyn Crockett, who's got a double already in this game. And Price is going to ground it to the shortstop. She's up with it over to first in time for out number 3. So Powell comes up with it and retires the side. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th right after this.
Engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support Western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bottom of the fifth inning here from Marsh Valley High School. Bear Lake Bears lead by just one on your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard by a score of 6-5. Morgan Crockett still in the circle for the Bears. Really has only given up the one hard hit, but it was a base-clearing triple. The batter, Campbell, is 1 out of 2 on the day. She lined out to the shortstop, and she had the ground ball single to left field. So both hits have gone to the left side, and she fouls off pitch number 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Strike 2, called strike. So quickly, Armstrong ahead in the count, 0-2. Last inning, first 3 batters reached base. Armstrong struck out 2 before giving up that triple. And there is a line drive down the left field line, and it's going to be a double as Crockett gets it in. So the leadoff double down the left field line. And it almost got past Crockett and would have been a triple, but she was able to come up with it and get it in to keep Campbell to just the double. So now the tying run is at second base. The Bears have led the entire way. Here's the pitch, and it's a ground ball foul. And the Marsh Valley coach did something you should never do as a coach. He tried to stop it. It went off his hand. And I could tell by his reaction it didn't feel good. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner at second. Barchi at the plate. And she's grounded out twice in the game. She takes that one inside and low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner is in scoring position. It has the game tying run that's over there at second. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Just inside for ball 2. Armstrong checks her armband for the pitch call. Comes to the plate, swing, foul ball, straight back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner down at second. Bears lead at 6-5 here in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out with that runner at second. After the leadoff double. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. And Romrell will stop it, but can't make the play. Excuse me. It does hold the batter. And the runner still at second base. So runners at first and second now with nobody out. This is the second inning in a row that Marsh Valley has got the leadoff, the first 2 batters on in the inning. They scored 3 in that last inning after the triple before Armstrong was able to end the inning. And the bunt is going to stay fair. Everybody, nope, out at first. Nice play by Armstrong. I thought everybody was going to be safe. So the sacrifice bunt is effective in advancing the runners. But now there is one out with Lurcher at the plate. She struck out and had a base hit. She's going to ground it to second. Price up with it over to first in time. But the run does score from third, so we are tied. The slow ground ball gave Price no choice but just to throw it to first and get the out. It does tie the game. And now there's a runner at third. Call is the batter. And she is 0 for 2 in the game. And she's going to pop that one up, back end out of play into the baseball field for strike number 1. So that out at first on the sacrifice bunt was big to get the out. And now ground ball foul. So 0-2. If it wasn't for the out at first on that bunt, there'd probably be another run on the board right here. Armstrong looking to end the inning. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner at third. And it's going to be a line drive base hit. That'll score a run into left field for the single. And that will give Marsh Valley their first lead of the game at 7-6. That brings Guthrie to the plate. Guthrie, I believe, she has popped out and struck out in the game, so she has not yet reached base. Actually, it looks like a pinch hitter, but I didn't catch the number. If she turns around, I'll try to get you the number and see who it is. So runner at first with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th, first lead for the Marsh Valley Eagles. And that is a foul ball. Back out of play. And then there's a slow ground ball to the pitcher. Armstrong up, over to first in time. That will be out number 3, but not before the Marsh Valley Eagles take the lead after scoring a couple. And it is 7-6, and we'll be back with the top of the 6th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
With the helpful hardware, folks. With the helpful hardware, folks.
Followed by DeClark and Beard here in the top of the 6th inning. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Bear Lake Bears. Crockett had a double in her first at-bat, struck out in her last at-bat. Bears trailing for the first time in the game. Down by a run, 7-6. Hoping to retake the lead right here with Brooklyn Crockett playing third base today. She is one of the Bear Lake pitchers. She pitched the game against Snake River the other day. And she's a little bit late, fouls it off for strike one. Peck and Armstrong, the two pitchers, have thrown every pitch so far in this game. No substitutes. And it's been a battle. Bears have only given up runs in 2 innings, but those were big innings. And that one's taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-6 is your score in favor of Marsh Valley. Actually, 3 innings. They've given up runs in 3 innings. 2, then 3, then 2. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Wear that, Brooklyn. She jumps out of the way. And that was rolling the whole way. It wouldn't have even hurt. 1 ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out, as she is the first batter here in the top of the 6th inning for the Bear Lake Bears. And she's going to ground that one back to the pitcher. Peck up and over to first in time for out number 1. And that will bring up to Clark. And in the game, DeClark has a bunt for a base hit, and she struck out her second at bat. Bears would love to get her on the bases. If she's at first base, she's at second base because of her speed. She can steal on pretty much anybody. And she bunts that one foul, trying to bunt her way on. Straight down and off the plate and to the backstop. So just a strike for the foul ball. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. DeClark swinging to this one, fouls it back. So now the bunt is off the table most likely. And she was swinging away. She got a hit over in Snake River. She can definitely hit her way on base. She doesn't have to bunt her way on. It's just a really good weapon for her with her speed. I'm glad we're broadcasting the softball game, not the baseball game on the other field. Strikeout. She swung and missed. That game over there is 13-0.
I don't know who they're playing, but it's a rough
South
one.
Fremont.
Okay.
And Marsh Valley is stomping on them, 13-0.
In fact, it just ended.
And this brings Beard to the plate with 2 outs. She flied out to left field in her first at bat, and then she walked in her second at bat. Bears need some base runners. Down to their last 4 outs of the game, trailing by a run. Beard fouls that one off. 4 strike 1. Armstrong is on deck, and she had the 3-run double her last at bat. So definitely the part of the lineup if Beard can reach for the Bears to do some damage. Trailing by the run here in the 6th. Ball 1 to Beard. Very patient batter. She did draw the walk in the last inning and had a good solid hit on her first at bat. It was just an out, a fly out to left field. She takes that one for ball 2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. After the lazy ground ball to the first baseman and the strikeout to start the inning. 5 straight outs recorded in the last couple innings as Beard falls that one back. Bears haven't had a base runner now since that 2-run double, if I do believe. This is the last time Bears had runners on base. They went 1, 2, 3 in the 5th inning, 1, 2 so far here in the 6th. Bears have had plenty of opportunities to score runs today, and have left some out there. As Beard, hard line drive, foul ball down the third baseline. So we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. She had good contact on it, but it just a little bit out in front for the foul ball. Her brother's a great pitcher for the Bears baseball team. Might see him in action tomorrow versus Preston. Ball 3, full count. Beard looking to get her way on base. She would be the tying run if she can reach and give Armstrong a chance to bring her in right here. Here's the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. And
Good
she
hit.
hits a hard
Great
ground
stop.
ball to the shortstop. Oh, what a play.
What a great stop.
That was a hard ground ball, but just a little bit too much right at her. Howell comes up with it over to Lurcher, and that's going to end the 6th. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th, right after this on the SBI Sports Network.
Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier. Online at bearlakedental.com or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I grew up in Provo, Utah, played football at BYU, medical school at the University of Utah, then did my residency at the Family Medicine Residency of Idaho, and then after residency came here. I love the beauty, the place geographically here. I love the people, and I love that there's a certain type of get-it-done person that lives here and thrives here. Really any sports me and my family love. Jet skiing, being on the lake, ATVs, power sports, that kind of stuff. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital.
Bear Lake Bears trail it by a score of 7-6 on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Here going to the bottom of the 6th, Brooklyn Crockett, the new pitcher, as Morgan Armstrong, who has pitched the majority of the game, moves to shortstop, her normal position. Shortstop Romrell moves over to third. Crockett moves from third to pitch. And the Bears looking to hold down the Eagles here and come back in the top of the 7th. The other substitution is Anderson swings and misses. The other substitution is Maddie Michael, replaces Taylin DeClark in right field. DeClark got out that last inning, so this is a defensive switch. And that one's just low, ball 1. So Crockett got the win the other day against Snake River, trying to keep the Bears in it right here. Armstrong, just off the top of the glove, and then Michael bobbles it in right field, so what could have maybe been an out gets off the top of Price's glove and into right field and turns into a double. So Anderson at second, she's got a lot of speed. And that brings up Howell. And she had a base hit earlier in this game. In fact, she had the triple that scored all those runs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. She takes just inside for ball 1. Bears trailing by a run here. Can't afford to give up any more. At the leadoff batter is at second, and ball 2.
Great
nice
stop by Abby.
Humphreys went up high to get that one, knocked it down, keep it in front of her, so Anderson has to stay at second base. Here's the pitch, and that one's high for ball 3. So after pitching a couple good strikes to Anderson, and then the first pitch to Howell was close. 3 balls in a row now to Howell. And she walked her on 4 straight. So for the 3rd straight inning, the first 2 batters of the lineup reach base for the Eagles. The Bears can't afford to give up runs. They already trail by 1 here late in the game. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning. Bears down to their final 3 outs. Foster, who's yet to reach base, she struck out. She reached on an error, and she had a fly ball out is the batter. She fouls the first one back. And it's an 0-1 count with nobody out with 2 runners on. Squares to bunt. Misses. Strike 2. And she offered at it, so it counts as a swing, even though the pitch would have been a ball. But she tried to stick her bat in front of it, so it counts as a strike. So the bunt's probably off the table. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Struck her out. So 1 out. Nice pitch there by Crockett to get out number 1. This brings Campbell to the plate. Campbell has been on base 2 times, 2 out of 3. She's hit the ball hard all 3 times to the left side. Has a couple of base hits. And she's going to fly this one high, deep. Crockett is under it, makes the catch, and keeps the runners at first and second. That was huge right there. Kind of surprised that the runner didn't try to advance to third on the tag up.
Yeah, delayed tag and deep steal.
Because Anderson's got a lot of speed, and that ball was to deep left center. Brings Barchi to the plate. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. She has grounded out 3 times up the middle, all 3 times. She takes pitch number 1 for a ball. 1-0 count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And a little pop fly, and it's going to be out at third.
She got her.
Morgan Armstrong heads up play, came over, grabbed it.
And I think Crockett was frustrated because she missed it on charging the little bunt, but it actually worked out perfect because Romrell was right there to grab it and tag the base.
So good job there by Morgan Armstrong to get the out and retire the side. The first 2 reach, but no run score. The Bears have 3 more outs to try to take the lead and force the bottom of the 7th. We'll have the top of the 7th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure. Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Morgan Armstrong the leadoff hitter in the game. He is the leadoff hitter for the 7th inning. She is 1 for 2. She has a double that scored 3 runs. She popped out to the shortstop on her first at-bat, and she was hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. So she's been on base 2 out of 3 times, and she is the game-tying run. Peck still the pitcher. She's gone all the way. Armstrong needs to be on base right here if the Bears are going to fight back in this one. Down by a run with there's 3 outs to go. First pitch, ball 1. Good eye, good patience there by Armstrong. She's got a great bat and a lot of speed. That's why she's in that leadoff position for the Bear Lake Bears. The senior leader, shortstop, pitcher. In fact, the 2 pitchers that we've seen today are both seniors. And that's what you want to start the inning is Armstrong. Singles to left. Nice hit there by Armstrong. Just a little fly ball. Lands right in front of the left fielder. No way she's getting to that. And a leadoff single. And now the winning run is at the potential go-ahead run, I should say, is at home plate. And the game-tying run is at first. And she's got a lot of speed. This is Romrell batting. and she takes ball 1. She has been on base 3 times, 2 doubles, and then a pop out to the second baseman. All 3 of her hits have been over here to the right side. And she can go 3 for 4 on the day right here, would go a long way, giving the Bears a chance to get back in this game. Ball in the dirt. And Armstrong not taking any chances over there at first base, not taking too big of a lead. Don't want to get that out, taking a chance right here when you're down by a run in the final inning of the game. Here's the pitch. And that is going to get to the fence and over. Home run!
Woo!
Did not think that was going to make it over, but it did, into right center field, and the Bears are in business. They're back in the lead as Romrell has got 2 doubles on a home run on the day, and she clears the bases. Armstrong was in front of her, so that's a 2-run home run. And Peyton Crockett up to the plate. So Romrell, just a junior, gets the hit, and now her fellow junior, Peyton Crockett, comes to the plate. And she's hit by a pitch. So the first 3 batters of the inning reach base, and the Marsh Valley coach will come pay a visit. Due up next is Abby Humphreys, the sophomore catcher. She's had a great day behind the plate. I think she's only given up 1 steal, and that was to Anderson, who's got a ton of speed, so that's no harm done there. And she has kept everything in front of her, hasn't given up a lot of free bases. And let's see if she can do some damage with the bat. The Bears would like to add at least 1 more run here, give themselves a cushion here late in the game, as they've already gone up a run. They needed 1 to force this game to continue. They got 2 already in the first 2 batters, looking for more as Crockett is at third. And that wind has picked up, and it's a bit cold.
It's cold. It's the snow on the mountains across from us. It's
blowing right off those.
It's cold.
Humphreys takes inside. She almost got hit herself for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Runner at first is Crockett. Bears in the lead, 8-7. After the 2-run home run by Romrell, aided slightly by that wind. In the dirt for ball 2. Nice stop there by the catcher to keep that one in front, or Crockett would have advanced easily to second. So 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out. And the runner at first, Bears have already scored 2 in the inning on the Romrell long ball, looking to further extend that lead. Humphreys takes a strike that time, inside corner. She hit one in Snake River that would be out on this field, so she's definitely got the power.
She would love to and is capable of putting it over the fence.
Yeah, that one in Snake would have been way out of this park. Snake River's high fences and deep fields, and that's ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike. And coming to the plate next would be Pope, who's had 2 base hits already in this game. So Marsh Valley hoping to get out of this inning. Still looking to the dugout for the pitch call. Humphrey standing at the plate, Crockett over at first. Nobody out, 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball 4. So after the leadoff single, the second batter was a home run. Third batter hit by a pitch, 4th batter walks, and that brings up Brooklyn Pope. She's had a good day defensively in center field, and she's hit to the right side all 3 times. She's got 2 singles and a pop out in the game. Base hit here would go a long ways in helping Bears extend this lead and potentially get the win as they are up by 1. She squares to bunt, foul tip, strike 1. So Pope on the first pitch was looking to sacrifice and move those runners to second and third. Let's see if she's bunting again. She is not, and she takes high for ball 1. And to be honest, the first pitch might have been a ball. That's why it was hard to bunt. It was a little bit high. She offered at it and just barely got a little tiny piece of it for the foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Runners at first and second. Ball 2. That one was high and away. So Peck, after giving that home run up to Romrell, seems a little bit shaky here. She's given up a hit by pitch, a walk, and now is down 2 balls and 1 strike, and could be 3-0 if it wouldn't have been for the bunt attempt on strike 1. And that's a called strike. Right at the knees and on the inside corner. That's one you don't want to swing at very often, especially when you're up by a couple of pitches. But now 2-2 count, and Pope has got to be in protect mode. Runners at first and second, Humphreys and Crockett. Here's the pitch. Inside. Whew.
That looked good to me. That was that changeup again, and it came in really, it looked pretty.
He called it inside. So full count, payoff pitch. Don't want to put her on where you've already got 2 runners on base. Just looking at her armband to get the call. A lot of teams doing that now. And putting the armbands on the pitcher so she can get the call. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's going to be a hard ground ball. And it's going to be to the first baseman.
Oh,
no,
she's there.
She's there. She's safe. Infield single for Pope. She beat it out.
Yes, she did.
And it gets past the pitcher. The shortstop had to run a long way to get it. The throw was not in time, and the bases are full of Bears for Bentley Price. And Bentley in the game has reached on a drop third strike. She walked and she grounded out. A ground out here, though, might extend the lead. And the Marsh Valley coach is going to come out and looks like he's going to change pitchers. That's exactly what he's going to do. And it looks like the shortstop, Howell. She's at least the one, yep, she's going to take the ball and become the pitcher. And I think they're just going to swap places as Peck went into the dugout and grabbed her face mask. So I think she's just going to take the spot at shortstop. Let's take a break on the commercial and come back right after this.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
We're back as Hal moved from her shortstop position into the circle. She's warming up to replace Peck. In the inning, the Bears have got a single, a walk, a home run, a hit by pitch, a walk, and another single. Scored 2, bases are loaded, and nobody is out. Bentley Price, who has walked in the game, she struck out but reached base on a drop third strike, and popped out in the game, is the batter. She's the number 6 hitter in the order. Brooklyn Crockett, who's got a double in the game, is on deck. If the Bears can avoid the double play, they could extend the lead here, leading by 1, 8-7 on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Warm-up pitchers from Howell looked very fast, but not a whole as much control maybe as what Peck had. We'll see. Here's the first pitch, and it's low for ball 1. No place to put her. She's definitely throwing harder than what Peck threw, if she can get him in the zone. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Bases full of Bears. Bentley Price at the plate.
Low.
Ball 2, just low. Bears want to be careful here on the base pass. Don't want to do anything stupid. And Price can be very picky here. Up 2 balls, no strikes, and the bases are loaded. And that one is called strike right at the knees for strike 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Now Price has got to be a little bit more aggressive. Here's the pitch. Foul. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Bears have already scored 2 in the inning, looking to put up some more and extend this lead, which is just 1 run right now. Here's the pitch. Price grounds it back to the pitcher. She comes to home with it, gets the force out there. No double play. So the ground ball right back to the pitcher. And everybody else is safe, so there wasn't a double play there. But it does keep a run from scoring. Now Crockett, who has a double in the game and a strikeout at the plate. She also grounded out to the pitcher her last at bat. She takes strike 1.
Bears would love to put a couple more runs on the board here.
And with the kind of speed that Hal throws, if Crockett can get a hold of one, which she's very capable of doing, it could do some damage. And that one is a ball. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base is still loaded with just the 1 out. The infield playing in shallow, looking to get either the double play or at least the force out at home. And that one's in the dirt. It's to the backstop, and a run will score. The other 2 runners will advance. So the wild pitch scores a run. The other 2 runners advance. So now 2 in scoring position. Bears up by 2. And now a base hit would give it the Bears a 3 or 4 run lead. Here's the pitch. And Crockett is going to get a hit.
Great stop by
down
the
to second.
baseman.
The shortstop bobbles it. The run scores.
She's safe.
Safe at first, safe at third, and a run scores on the error by the shortstop. So the hard ground ball scores a run. Everybody else is safe. The Bears up by 3, 10-7.
Courtesy runner in for Crockett down on first.
And that is DeClark. And Maddie Michael at the plate. Maddie Michael, just the freshman. She subbed in defensively for DeClark last inning. She comes to the plate in a big situation here. Oh, nice hit.
It's going to drop.
It's going to drop, and one run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score. So Maddie Michael, the freshman, comes in and gets a double.
Beautiful hit.
First pitch swinging, and she scores 2 runs. And all of a sudden, the Bears are broken open. They were up by 5 with still just 1 out. And now Callie Beard, the sophomore, comes to the plate. And Michael, what I do know about her, they've said she is fast. So a base hit would potentially score another one. She had a big lead over there on that foul ball. So Beard just missed driving that one. She was just underneath it. That would have been a big play there, as that was a good swing. She had a good cut on that ball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. So very quickly 2 strikes, but 2 very aggressive swings. Everybody's getting excited after that.
I want to hit.
Bears came into the inning down 7-6. They put up 6 runs in the inning, still only 1 out. And they've battered around. This is the 9th batter of the inning. And she swings and misses. So out number 2. And Morgan Armstrong, who started the inning with a single and came around to score on that Romerell home run, is the batter, facing a different pitcher this time around, as Howell has replaced Peck as the pitcher. And called strike. Must have been just on the inside corner because Armstrong let that one go pretty much the whole way. A little bit of an off speed. That wasn't as hard as what Powell's been throwing. Howell, not Powell. I know what I'm saying here. So runner at second. And Armstrong, hard ground ball, and it's going to get through the third baseman's legs, and Armstrong's going to be safe. And on the error by the third baseman, now runners at first and third. And Romrell, who's got a home run already in this game, in this inning, back at the plate. And Armstrong probably going on the pitch with her speed and 2 outs. And it's a high fly ball. Is it going to get down? Nope, caught this time. Nearly another home run. That one didn't miss by much. But the Bears score 6. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
You're back.
So coming to the plate will be Peck, the number 6 batter in the order. She pitched all but this the last couple outs of that inning, and she has lined out to center field. She grounded a ball up the left side for a single, and she had a sacrifice bunt in her 3 at-bats. And she will come to the plate hoping to get on base as the Bears lead it by 5 after scoring 6 in that inning. And that was an inning that was almost all Bear Lake. It wasn't a lot of errors. There wasn't a lot of walks or anything. Other than there was a couple, but most of that was the Bear Lake bats doing the damage. Brooklyn Crockett, the pitcher, comes to the plate, and it's a high fly ball into center field, and it's going to get over the Pope to the fence, and the leadoff double for Peck.
Beautiful hit.
And that just barely missed hitting the fence on the fly. And Pope made a good effort to get back to it, but couldn't quite get back there. So the lead-off double. That brings Lurcher to the plate. She has flied out, struck out, and grounded out. And she had a fly ball single, and she struck out and grounded out. She fouls this one off the dugout and then into right field. 4 strike 1. So the Bears have some runs to play with, but the Bears scored 6 in the inning themselves, so they know that it's possible. And the ground ball to Armstrong at shortstop, up with it, out at first, over to third. Ooh, just missed the double play.
That was close. Oh. Great throw, though, over to third.
Armstrong got it to Beard. Beard made a perfect throw, and the nice slide there by Peck just under the tag, barely. I don't disagree with the call, but that was bang, bang, and that would have been almost the nail in the coffin there. But it was nice to get the out at first. Now 1 down. Ball 1. And this is Call at the plate. She has flied out, and she's bunted for sacrifice back to the pitcher, and she's got a single. So she is 1 out of 3, and she fouls that one back. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, runner down at third. Bears up by 5. Strike 2, swing and a miss. That was a great pitch there by Crockett on the inside corner, and Call couldn't catch up with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the Eagles down to their final out, trailing by 5. And Guthrie, the batter, she is the number 9 hitter. She popped out to second. She grounded out to the pitcher. She struck out in this game. And if Crockett can retire her here, it would end the ball game. And ground ball to Armstrong. It's in the dirt. She can't come up with it in time. And a run scores Good play by Armstrong just to get over there and knock it down. Almost got the out at first anyway.
Run scored.
So now it's 12-8. A 4-run lead with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. Anderson has been on fire today. She does have a strikeout, but she also has a double and 2 singles, and both of the singles have been infield singles. She's got a lot of speed, and we're going to have a pinch runner over here at first base. So Anderson, the speedster, leadoff hitter, looking to extend the game. Bears need 1 more out to end it. So at this point, you want to keep everything in front of you if you're the Bear Lake Bears. And Anderson's going to foul that one out, and it's almost going to take out the Bear Lake bus on the fly. That one out of play over the fence and landed between a truck and the bus. For strike 1. Crockett quickly to the plate. And another foul ball, and that one almost hit a car too. And Crockett coming with a lot of speed, and Anderson is just fouling him back and out of play. And they're both far enough out of play that they don't have a ball right now. They're both in the parking lot. So we got a little bit of a stoppage in the action. It's a 12-8 game on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. And Colby Romrell ran over there.
Good job.
It's like, hey, my daughter can hit a home run. I can go fetch a ball out of the parking lot.
Yeah. She probably had to go fetch a few when she's been practiced hitting at home. So
here we go in an 0-2 count. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bears with a 4-run lead. Runner at first, but a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Bears 1 out away from securing their 2nd district win of the year in just 2 tries. They travel to American Falls next week and will try to complete the road sweep if they can get the win here. Ooh, just missed. Ball 2 outside. Tomorrow, we're going to attempt to bring you a couple games from Preston. Bear Lake Bears baseball has a doubleheader. We're hoping the rain doesn't keep us from bringing you those games over there. First pitch at 11 o'clock for the first game. It's an early start in Preston. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. It's going to be fair, and it's going to be a double.
She's going to, she rounded third.
Almost headed for home, but doesn't.
Probably a wise choice because I think they'd have got her.
So just a little bloop down the third baseline and the first baseline. And Maddie Michael comes up and keeps the runner at third. So now runners at second and third. And now Howell. And Howell has struck out, hit a ground ball and reached on an error, tripled, that scored 3 runs. The bases were loaded when she tripled, and walked. She takes that one a little bit high for ball 1. First base is empty. So you don't need to give her anything she can hit. You can walk her if you need to. She's a powerful hitter that could change this game with 1 swing of the bat, and she fouls that one off.
She's got a good swing.
The number 2 hitter in the lineup. She played shortstop for the first 6 innings, and then she came in relief as the pitcher in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Ball, nice stop by Humphreys. That saved a run right there. That one was high and fast. If that gets past her, a run most likely scores. So nice stop by Abby Humphreys, the sophomore. Strike 2 on the foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on. They're at second and third. And the Bears lead it by 4. The senior Crockett versus Howell. I want to say she's a senior as well. I'm not positive on that. Here's the pitch. Struck her out. That'll end the game. Swing and a miss on the drop ball. Humphreys brings it up. And the Bears win it by a score of 12-8. What a game.
Great job by the Lady Bears.
And they were down going into the top of the 7th. They were down by a run, scored 6, only gave up 1 in the bottom of the inning. So instead of losing, they win it. And great game for the Bear Lake Bears. That's a big win for them. Let's just do a quick recap of who did what. If I can get it to pull up here.
2 big wins for the Bears in district play. Again, American Falls next week, so that will be the 3rd league game or district game of the season going into next week. So it would be nice to pick up a win there too, and have a strong presence in the district. So
yeah, Bears now the only team. Well, when I said earlier they could have a potential to sweep the season series on the road, I forget it, Preston in softball is down with us, and for some reason my stats disappeared.
Uh-oh.
So
I didn't do it.
No, it wasn't your fault. It's something on the iPad. So let's just recap what I can do from memory. Crockett came in relief. She had a double early in the game. Armstrong pitched a great game, pitched the first 6 innings, and did well. Most of the runs that she gave up were unearned because of some errors behind her. And she had a good game hitting as well. She had the 3-run double. She was on base with a single and scored on the Romrell home run in the top of the 7th. That turned into be the game-winning hit. That home run was actually the game winner right there. So she had a great game. Romrell hitting had a great game. She had a double and that home run, and almost had another home run at the end of the 7th inning. She came up twice in that inning. Maddie Michael, the freshman, came in defensive relief in right field late in the game, ended up with a double, a 3-run double. That was a crucial hit at a crucial time, and that was huge. Abby Humphreys behind the plate had a fantastic game. Defensively, kept everything in front of her, only gave up the 1 steal, and that was to the speedsters, kept everybody else close. Taylinda Clark with some great base running. She was on base quite a bit. Who else? Bentley Price had a good game. Brooklyn Pope defensively played very well and was on base a few times, so good game from her. Just trying to go around and Peyton Crockett and reached base a couple times, had a great defensive day out in left field. Pretty much a really good all-around day for the Bear Lake Bears on both sides of the ball. They really only had 1 inning that kind of got away from them scoring-wise when they gave up 3 of their 8 runs in that 1 inning. Other than that, very consistent reaching base, very consistent hitting the ball, and very consistent defense behind some good pitching from Armstrong and Crockett to get the big win, 12-8. This is big. After beating Snake River 7-4, they beat Marsh Valley 12-8, and that puts them at 2-0 in district play. And they'll play American Falls next week, and then Preston the week after that to finish off district play. Preston now in our district, so Bears only have about 3 road games left on the season. They go to American Falls next week during spring break. We'll likely bring you that one, weather permitting. That's going to be what we say every game this year.
Yeah,
weather
unfortunately. Spring sports.
We'll bring you the American Falls game, and then the only games they have after spring break on the road is they will play at Teton and they'll play at Preston. Other than that, everything else will be at home the rest of the year for the Bear Lake Bears after tomorrow. They play 3 games tomorrow up in Wendell. And they're getting in the minibus and driving straight to Wendell. They'll stay the night in the Twin Falls area. They play North Fremont, Soda Springs, and Wendell tomorrow in 3 games, kind of little round robin up there. And those teams are playing today. They're all playing each other up there, and then Bear Lake will join and play tomorrow. Kind of a little mini round robin tournament going on, and that should be great for the Bears. 2 wins in a row, and they're big ones. Marsh Valley and Snake River, 2 that count. And this district gets 2 teams to state. So if they can take care of business next week against American Falls, that puts them in great position to maybe be in a high seed, 1st or 2nd in the district, depends on how they do against Preston, and potentially earn themselves a trip to state. That would be awesome for this team moving up to 4A. A lot of young players. We have freshmen and sophomores that did a lot of contributing today. Be fantastic for the Bears to get to the state tournament in their first year in 4A. Anything you got to add over there, Lise?
No. You got it all.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. The Bears pick up the big win. Congratulations to Coach Pope. Hey, we need to get him to come out and join us after these games.
Yeah, good luck.
And we will join you tomorrow, we hope, from Preston for baseball as the Bear Bears in a doubleheader against Preston Indians. That is not a district game in baseball. It's only a district game in softball. So until tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., this is
Lisa Hillier
and Jared Hillier saying good afternoon, everybody.